What's up, everybody? Yeah, welcome to the Mike Dolce Show. Here we are again. Topic of the day is SARMs, baby. SARMs or TRT. Now, what are SARMs? SARMs are selective androgen receptor modulators. What? Basically, just another acronym for a performance enhancing supplement or drug. They're kind of a gray area, and we're going to get into that in a minute. Now, this video is not medical advice. Nothing inside this video should be misconstrued as medical advice. I am not a medical doctor. I'm just performing an informative and entertainment service here for you. Please discuss with your doctor before trying any diet or exercise or supplement program. Do not listen to anything that I say in this video or any of my videos. So, thank you. Also, I will not curse. I will not offer specific dosage information. I will actually just tell you what a SARM is and what TRT is and how some people have utilized them in their life for good or bad purposes. Now, when we talk about SARMs, we are talking about a category of drugs. I think I have to call SARMs drugs instead of supplements because SARMs are not approved for human consumption. SARMs are illegal in the United States to consume in a human body. Do we get that? It's illegal to consume SARMs. In fact, your doctor cannot even prescribe you SARMs. Doctors will lose their license if they try and prescribe you a SARM. So just understand SARMs is a gray market to black market product that is illegal. Now, there's a loophole that some people use to purchase SARMs because SARMs are able to be sold for experimental purposes, for research. They are a research chemical, not to be used for human consumption, though. So this is a little gray area that supplement manufacturers and SARM manufacturers and distributors, they put this not to be used for human consumption logo on there, and then they sell them and people purchase them and people consume them illegally for the perceived benefit that will be on par, equal to, or even greater than certain anabolic androgenic steroid purposes. Steroids, we'll just call them. Now, what is TRT? TRT is testosterone replacement therapy. TRT is legal to be prescribed by your medical doctor. TRT is legal to be consumed by a human with a prescription. TRT is oftentimes found to be a healthy and sometimes even necessary point of medical intervention. SARMs would not be. Does that mean SARMs are bad? Well, I'm going to break that down, continue on along this journey. I just wanted to detail for you exactly what these compounds are and what these categories are. Now, SARMs have been popular for the last 5 years or so in pop culture. SARMs have been around and known about for over a decade inside the higher levels of sport and performance and kind of the black market world. Maybe even 20 or so years, over a decade for sure. We've all been hearing guys talk about SARMs and even peptides. Now, what is the purpose of a SARM? Why would an individual take a SARM? People will take SARMs because they believe they will get similar benefits that they would see from anabolic androgenic steroids, or the larger category of performance enhancing drugs, which would include growth hormones and beta agonists and fat burners and other things. They believe that SARMs will produce similar levels of performance or cosmetic benefit while having lower total side effects. And that's the allure. And also the ability for some people to purchase SARMs in the gray market to avoid possible prosecution from trying to illegally purchase anabolic steroids. I'll just say PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, but SARMs fall into the PED category. So it gets a little bit messy to just talk here to you guys, but I think you understand and you follow along. Now, the vast majority of SARMs, all SARMs, as I understand, they are unregulated by the FDA. They are unregulated again by the FDA. This is an unregulated category. What does that mean? That means there is no oversight. Now, by and large, I am not a huge fan of the FDA because the FDA approves compounds for use that they later ban that compound and pull it off the market because they realize, oh no, actually, that might really give you cancer or diabetes or stroke or become infertile. Oops, our bad. So the FDA has had major faux pas, to put it lightly, with regards to their approval process. But not having a compound under the guise of the FDA is even more dangerous. Now, the FDA may approve products that are not safe and become used. But if the FDA is not even investigating and looking into a product, it becomes the Wild West. And the SARMs category is the Wild West. The vast majority of SARMs on the market, in my opinion, through my experience, through my research, are completely unregulated and are completely mislabeled and misdosed, and oftentimes contain contaminants that you are unaware of that may have a very serious long-term negative health effect. Many of the SARMs here in the United States are not even produced in the United States. They are produced in unscrupulous territories around the world that have even lower quality control standards as not being FDA regulated. That's scary stuff. A lot of people purchasing SARMs right now are not aware of what they are actually purchasing. What they're getting might not actually even be what is on the label. They're getting a block of powder, a canister of pills that might not even be what they wanted it to be. Who knows? They're just rolling the dice. And I ask you, for what? For what purpose? Is your ego so fragile that you will risk your health on an unregulated compound from an unknown manufacturer delivered to your door that possibly is not even what you wanted to purchase in the first place? And then you will consume this illegally for what? For what purpose would you do this? Does this make any sense? Does this scenario make any sense? So you can lose an extra 1% body fat, maybe. So you can add an extra 4 pounds of muscle, maybe. And further, and possibly most important, SARMs have very little long-term studies noting their negative consequences because it's illegal to consume SARMs. It's illegal for humans to consume SARMs. There are no long-term credible studies being done on this category that shows what the long-term effects are of a 25-year-old who consumes certain types of SARMs over 3-week, 6-week, 6-month, 6-year, or more periods of time. There are no known studies on this. They are not being studied right now. So you don't know what will happen. Will you become infertile? Or worse, possibly, will your offspring have 3 heads like Mothra? Is that Mothra? Will there be some sort of serious negative long-term outcome as a result of the ingestion of this unregulated category of compounds? Now, is the concept of SARMs cool? Yeah, it's super cool. Super cool. The concept is super cool. Does it make sense for any human to consume this? No. It makes no sense to do so. For what purpose? Honestly, so you can look in the mirror and go, oh, yeah, I think I'm a little bit leaner. Oh, yeah, that's super cool. I completely fucking shut my eyes and just jumped off a fucking building with regards to my long-term health outcomes. So I can stare in the mirror, so I can stand on a physique stage for 90 seconds and wow a crowd of people that could give 2 craps about me anyway. That's what it comes down to me. That's what it comes down to. Now, SARMs versus TRT. Let's really look at. I want to look at this whole situation here. TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. This is an area of medicine that has been researched since the 1940s or so, middle of the 20th century. So 1940, 1950, 1960. Then the testosterone market was zooming. The anabolic steroid market was zooming. These are known compounds that were created by and large by pharmaceutical companies for medical purposes. Now, they all didn't pan out very well, but they do have long-term studies going back, 50, 60, 70 years of research supporting what the positive and negative outcomes are of this, so much so that doctors can legally prescribe this for those individuals who do qualify. This is something that you need to sit down with your doctor and discuss. And we speak here that you should be sitting down with your doctor at least twice per year, preferably 4 times a year, and to be optimized 6 times per year. Every other month, you should go to your doctor and get some blood work done, or at least get an in-home blood panel done, which you can do very simply, very easily. And one area that we use, it's called Let's Get Checked, Let's Get Checked, letsgetchecked.com. Promo code Dolce, you will save 20% for those who care to use that. It's just a great company that we found. They have a great system, yada, yada. But this isn't an ad. I'm not selling or pushing you to that. That's a company that's out there that does it. Now, getting your blood work done, but getting your blood work done for review by a licensed physician. This is key for those individuals who might meet the criteria to qualify for testosterone replacement therapy. By and large, most guys don't need it until they get to that mid-30 or so range where they might be a candidate, but most likely they will not be yet. And then you get into your 40s and mid-40s and start pushing up over 50. Likely, men above 50 years old, by percentage, will be much more eligible to qualify for testosterone replacement therapy due to true medical need. Those below 40 who are living a proper lifestyle will likely not qualify legitimately and likely should not even attempt to qualify illegitimately. What does that mean? That means if you don't really need it, you shouldn't take it yet. Eventually, you probably will. And at that point, that's for you and your doctor to discuss if it makes sense for you to improve the quality of your life and to improve your long-term health outcomes. And there's lots of great science that support this. This is a decision for you and your doctor, not for Uncle Mike sitting over here in YouTube land. I'm just trying to illustrate the thought process and the differences of these two categories. What I see SARMs to be is a very dangerous area of gray market performance products with very little research and a very high percentage of long-term negative outcomes. It's an unnecessary risk with very little short and long-term rewards and very high probability of long-term negative health outcomes. So why would you take that? Why would you consider that? It makes no sense. And it starts, well, it's gray market. It's illegal. You can get in some serious trouble. That's a pretty good reason. We go further. What you're purchasing is coming from an unknown, unregulated manufacturing plant with likely very little, if no, quality controls at all, being shipped to you, packaged in a manner that, again, has likely no quality control to protect your health and safety, very probably mixed with fillers and cutters and preservatives to improve profit margin for the company manufacturing it, then shipped to the distributor, which is usually a white label company, which means they get all the bulk SARM from some company, let's say in China, which a lot of the SARMs come from. It gets shipped to some, let's say, North American-based company brand that has their logo. They take their label, they take their logo, and they put it, it's called a white label. They just slap their logo on this. Let's say this is just a white bottle of SARMs. Boop. They just take this and they put their logo right there on it. And now all of a sudden it's company ABC123 SARM. And then they say what that SARM is and what the potency is and yada, yada, yada. Oftentimes, the company, the brand selling the SARM is mislabeling the contents of the SARM. A, because they're trying to market to you, or B, because what they think they purchased from that Chinese company did not show up 100% to spec. There's lots of areas here, guys and gals. There's lots of areas of tomfoolery, if you will, before it even gets to you, where you could consume it and possibly get really hurt and really sick and have negative long-term outcomes for very little short-term performance. Very little. Now, when we switch over, you walk into your doctor's office, you sit down with a licensed, board-certified physician, you have a comprehensive wellness test, they pull complete blood panels, they see that you qualify with a medical need for a very specific pharmaceutical, which just happens to be a testosterone, falling under the category of testosterone replacement therapy. You may also fall into the category of hormone replacement therapy, with which you can get testosterone legally prescribed from an American pharmaceutical company. You can get growth hormone legally prescribed from an American pharmaceutical company, meeting all the stringent criteria that is necessary to produce such compounds. You can further go on and legally receive a prescription for what is known as nandrolone or DECA. You guys know DECA, one of the most popular, one of the most powerful anabolic steroids. You can also receive a prescription for something known as oxandrolone, which is Anavar, considered to be one of the safest and one of the most effective anabolic steroids consumed orally. Now, I don't suggest you go down that route of all of those compounds, and by and large, none of you will need all of those compounds. Definitely not at the same time. Some of you may need some of those compounds at some point in your life. And if so, you should walk into your doctor's office legally, and you should sit down again with a legally licensed, board-certified medical doctor who will oversee your blood work and will prescribe only what is necessary due to true medical need, thereby improving your health and wellness. Now, here in the United States, there is hormone replacement therapy that will benefit long-term health outcomes. It's not just because you're sick. It's not just sick care. Doctors are able to prescribe because you want to be bigger and stronger and more fit and leaner and have better skin and faster growing fingernails and whatever the hell else it might be. That is actually legally covered now at this progressive point in American society. And that's not a bad thing. Again, I'm very libertarian on the topic of drug use. But at the same time, I must be very open and honest to share with you the possible negative health outcomes of certain compounds. But Dolce, you said you're libertarian, which means people can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. But they should only do whatever they want if they are completely informed first. Most of you listening right now never even knew that, holy cow, that SARM that I bought was probably produced in China, who has like zero quality control standards. And that was probably, or there's a good possibility that that bulk manufacturer might have mixed the batch just a little bit to minimize the active compound I was trying to purchase and threw some filler in there, which is common even here in the United States with protein powders. It happens here. Very probable it happened over there, and then it gets shipped here to a North American company that's just slapping a logo on there, putting some marketing material on there, and shipping it to your house to not be consumed for human consumption. There's a lot of tomfoolery in that process, guys and gals. And let me close on this point. The benefits of SARMs are minuscule with regards to the risk and the unknowns. Minuscule. Most of you probably know someone who's gone through a SARM cycle or been stacking multiple SARMs together because they don't want to take steroids, but they're taking these SARMs. Now, SARMs were sold as the healthier alternative to steroids, which is false because SARMs will shut down your own natural hormone production. SARMs will dramatically damage your liver. There is a vast list of negative health outcomes, immediate negative health outcomes when you consume SARMs. Very similar to if you were consuming a controlled anabolic steroid, androgenic steroid, right? So the negative health outcomes, I would say, are probably equal if it's the actual compound that you were purchasing. If you got what you thought it was, it got to you, you illegally consumed it, which you shouldn't do, you're going to have a negative health outcome as a result anyway, right? So if you are on the fence and you're thinking about it, you should probably not go illegal, gray market, question mark. I hope what I ordered actually comes in. You probably shouldn't do that. You should probably walk into your doctor's office and get your blood work done first and see how healthy you are. See if you have any sort of medical issue you need to be aware of, and then to see if you actively qualify and if you're a good candidate to go down that route of a TRT or an HRT or some of the other cocktails of compounds that might be medically prescribed to you. Now, the best thing to do, guys and gals, the best thing to do by far is to live a healthy life, is to live a stress-free life where you're getting 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. You're surrounded by wonderful friends and family that you love unconditionally, you laugh with constantly. You're outside in the fresh air and the blue skies with sunshine on your face. You're exercising intelligently and consistently in a manner that you deeply enjoy. You're training for, 3 to 5 days per week, 30 to 90 minutes at a clip consistently. week after month after year after decade, and you're eating a healthful diet rich in whole foods, avoiding all processed foods and processed sugars and artificial synthetic chemicals. This is ideal. This will keep you as naturally healthy as possible for as long as possible, minimizing your negative health outcomes and maximizing your positive health outcomes, pushing much farther back the even thought or need of medical intervention with regards to improving your health. And that's the goal, because once you go down a TRT and HRT route, you're typically on that path forever. Once you start, you need it forever. That's one thing that hopefully your doctor will tell you, and you need to understand. The further you can push that off, the better for you. The sooner you start, the greater the list of negative health outcomes. So, guys and gals, I hope this video was informative to you. That was my whole goal here. It's up to you to make your own decision. So I just wanted to provide some alternate information. In this day and age of YouTube and the internet, you see too many people telling you to go out there and take these dangerous compounds, whether it's the legal pharmaceuticals or it's the illegal gray area compounds. And they act like it's no big deal, and they completely dismiss the possible long-term negative health consequences. And if individuals like myself and hopefully some other individuals are not out here pushing back with honest, actionable, evidence-based information, so now you have a much broader picture when you do sit there at night and decide what you might do in the future. I just want you to think about this issue from a much broader perspective. Now, I'm going to answer some questions really quick. If you haven't, subscribe to this channel. Click subscribe, click that little bell so you get notified when live videos like these come out, and also give this video a thumbs up. Bang! And I can see the thumbs up growing, and I do appreciate that. Thank you. Let me answer some questions briefly, and I have a conference call I have to jump on here very soon, so I will be quick. Frank Wells, what's up, Frank? Frank, I got your text message. I will shoot you a reply back, my brother. I'm proud of you, my man. Aaron, F you, coach, F you, Aaron. Frank Wells, hunting season. Get some wild game meat and you'll feel better than most of that SARMS BS. Bingo. Frank Wells is a Dolce diet certified nutrition coach, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Frank knows what's up. Nicholas Gambino, another Dolce diet certified coach. Boom, Nicholas. And by the way, and we have one spot left to be a DDC, one spot left to become a DDC, one spot just opened for next week's event. 1 week from today, we are running the next Dolce Diet Certification and Nutrition Conference. We are endorsed by the NSCA, NASM, and AFAA as a continuing education provider. So get your, I think it's like 2/3 of your CEUs for a 2-year period in all those organizations, which is huge. You get to lock yourself in this facility with me for 3 amazing days, be surrounded by amazing humans from around the planet, and you get to leave here as a Dolce Diet certified coach. We have one spot left. Go to dolcedietshop.com. Click on the Be a Coach tab. It might say sold out. Don't worry about that. We have one spot left. You will be able to purchase as long as it's still available. And use that promo code FU Dolce. You will save, I think you're going to save $200 or so, because that's what whatever the person had paid previously, because they got a discount, you'll get their same discount. I'm not trying to squeeze you guys. I try and give you as much back as I can. Anelius, good morning, coach. Good morning, Anelius. Sergeant Muay Thai, boom. Good morning. 1 week away from the DDC. Sergeant Muay Thai is coming. How about that? Awesome. Aaron, could you explain the intra-workout you make, how much salt and honey per gallon? Thanks. Aaron, I will do that in another video. I want to run through, answer these questions. I'll put another video out. I want to get off this. I got to get off this in about 2 minutes or so, 3 minutes max. But Aaron, let me actually screenshot this. Aaron, if you could, this will be better. Leave that same question in the comments below this video. So when I go back later today, I'll put it in my list. So I will make a video on that for you. Joey Oliveria, hey, Coach Mike. What is better, DEXA scan or water tank for determining your body fat? Seems like you can't get a water tank test anywhere. DEXA scan works great. Hydrostatic weighing, which is the water tank, that works great. A bod pod works great, although I had a bod pod not long ago and it was flawed. It was about 3% off. So I don't know if that could have been a one-off issue where that machine was busted up. Also, if you have access to an InBody 550 or 770, That technology works really well and it is stable to itself, which means if that's the one you're using, it will typically, as long as all things are equal, it'll typically track you accurately. Mike Sullivan, I tried SARMS after reading an article by Dave Asprey over a year, almost 2 years ago. They definitely shut my test down. I would recommend doing a ton of research first. Exactly. And that's what I was talking about. You get a lot of these fitness experts out there that tell you, oh, yeah, go ahead, take it. And I don't understand why. Why? That makes no sense. It's so silly. Like temperance is huge. Why take it? Why not avoid it? Avoid it and do the best you can with all the other aspects of your life. Why not start there first? So it makes no sense. And all I see is negative outcomes from SARMs with very little upside. The Adam guy, Mike, can a guy with a physique like Yoel Romero have cardio like Tony Ferguson? Absolutely. That's a training effect and fuel substrates. How he's fueling, how he's training easily. Sam Corey, F you Dolce, F you Sam. Long term, I plan to come and be a certified coach of yours after saving up to travel. I'm a newly qualified personal trainer in my area. What advice would you give me? Thank you. Sam Corey, this is great. Sam Corey, I actually shot a car talk earlier this morning that I'm going to post this afternoon. This car talk is exactly for you or those of you who are just starting out in business. This is more on the Oh, there we go. I got a flag from YouTube saying that the connection was unstable. That's a YouTube issue, not our issue. But you must live your brand. You must be it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You must be it. You must be the epitome of health and fitness relative to yourself. I say you do not have to run faster than Usain Bolt. You do not have to lift more weight than Eddie Hall, but you must be the most ideal, perfect version of yourself in order to gain the respect of growing your business and being in demand. Rodrigo says, hey, coach, I was listening to the Muscle Intelligence podcast by Ben Pekulski, and he was talking about success principles of life. Guess what? Same things you say every day to us. Super cool guy. That's good to hear, man. I might reach out to Ben actually and try and get him on the podcast. Jesse Lee, F you, Jesse Lee. Rodrigo says his name is Ben Pekulski. He's a famous ex-bodybuilder, and the podcast is The Muscle Intelligence. You should exchange some knowledge. I agree. You know, I've followed Ben peripherally for a few years when he was a competitive bodybuilder. I followed him when he walked away abruptly, kind of at the peak of his career. So it would be nice to have him on the podcast. I think it would be a great conversation. The Adam guy says, Mike, why is it okay to eat a little something right before sleeping, like a little dessert or snack? Does this not affect sleep in a negative way? Thank you so much. Absolutely not. It does not. Now, if you're eating maybe a massive meal of highly processed crap, then maybe it will. What we talk about is having like, you know, an apple and a tablespoon or two of almond butter before bed, maybe some baked apples fresh out of the oven, maybe like a quick little veggie omelet, but usually eating that somewhere between, you know, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours before bed, not a big meal, something that's small, that's light, that's easy, that digests really well. That seems to work really well for a lot of people. I and tens of thousands of our clients have done that for decades now, and we have zero instances of disrupted sleep or poor sleep. How about that? Mirko, F you Dolce, awesome as always. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sam Corey, sorry, Mike, another question. I know you don't count calories, such as you break down what a 3,000 would roughly look like eating 6 times a day. I don't feel like I get enough micros. However, you got to increase the plant products, my friend. Got to increase those. And by the way, we have confirmed that James Wilkes, producer of the Game Changers, will be on next week's the Mike Dolce Show podcast, video podcast and audio podcast. James Wilk, former UFC fighter. Many people don't know that. He is the producer behind the Game Changers, which is the you know, plant-based movie that is out now that's really disrupting the conversation of what is healthy. So I'm glad to be getting James on, excuse me. We have been peripheral friends in the game because we both have been in the game, the fight game, for so long, and we've been chatting on Insta. So excited to get him on here soon. Dave B, best Friday tradition. Boom! Dave B, that card went in the mail today for you, my friend. So did those t-shirts. Dave B, the winner of the $100 Amazon gift card. And you deserved it, Dave. Everyone agrees. Angel Poblano, boom, F you Dolce. Everyone smash that like button. One more week. Can't wait for that DDC, my guy. That's right. Angel Poblano is coming to the DDC also, the Dolce Diet certification course. here in the beautiful beach town of Belmar, New Jersey. We have one spot left, one spot left, one spot left. If you are on the fence right now, go to dolcedietshop.com. Click that get a or become a coach link. And don't worry, I think it says sold out on there. Actually, let me check while I'm talking to you guys. I don't want to put bad information out there. Nope, it doesn't. It says become a coach. You click on that become a coach, boom, right there, and use promo code FU Dolce, all one word. You will save $200 off the retail price. Secure your spot. Come in, come in. We have one spot left. Come on in. If you're on the fence, come on in. It will be an amazing weekend. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. Jesse Lee, my wife was a very high-risk pregnancy. She's been on living lean diet and is 2 months away from giving birth to our first son. Thank you for all of the knowledge and advice. Oh, Coach Jesse Lee. Jesse, thank you so much for that very kind statement. My wife was also considered high risk because we decided to start our family later in our 30s. She was the epitome of health, but because of her age, I think she was 37 when she was pregnant with our oldest, and then 38 when she became pregnant with or 39 when she was pregnant. She gave birth at 39 with our second. So that's considered to be high risk, which was amazing for us because we had the benefit of all the additional testing, which is amazing. And we just finished our baby book. So you've been hearing about it for the last couple of years. The Dolce Diet Baby Book is done. We are in the final edits and revisions right now. You will hear more about that very soon. I am so happy to talk about that. And this details my wife's journey during her pregnancies, exactly how she lived, exactly how she ate, exactly how she trained, exactly what we did as a family to prepare ourselves for the birth of two beautiful little babies, and how she was able to manage all the breastfeeding and all the other things that go into it. So I think that'll be fun for Jesse, for you, and for your family. David, excellent, mate, top notch, or top channel. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Jackson Walsh, F.U. Dolce, F.U. Jackson. Dustin Potter, not trying to cause a debate here, but most creatine pre-workout and protein powders aren't regulated by the FDA. I said in this video that even protein powders are misreported and misdiagnosed. I did say that, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. Remember, no pills, no powders, no potions, right? And if you do purchase one of these, you better purchase one of these from the most well-regarded, high-quality companies in the country. One of the companies that I do use is Jarrow, Jarrow. This is not an endorsement. I'm not telling you to purchase from Jarrow. What I'm saying is I have found Jarrow over decades to be one of the most reputable supplement manufacturers in the world. So anytime I do purchase supplements, I will purchase those supplements from Jarrow, because what is on their label is typically what's in their bottle. And I say typically because I don't want to put in false information. I've never, ever, 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 ever known or heard about them having any sort of misdosed or mislabeled issues, ever. Jackson, yo, I'm not wanting to intermittent fast, but I work as a fry cook, and eating breakfast usually leads to being mad, uncontrollable by the middle of the evening. Eat again. Eat again. You're a fry cook. Eat. Have a shake. Have a smoothie with you. Have an apple. Have a half avocado. Have a handful of grapes. There is never a reason not to eat. If the doctor came in and said, listen, if you don't eat every 2, 3, 4 hours, what have you, you will die. Oh, you'd be like, oh yeah, no problem. I can eat, no problem. But when you get caught into the rat wheel of building other people's businesses, making other people money, you start to feel like, oh, well, I can. I'm a school teacher. I can't eat in the middle of the. No, you can actually, because in between classes, you can turn around and you can down 6, 8, 12 ounces of a whole food smoothie in about 10 seconds. So you can get it done. We work with we work with doctors. We work with nurses. We work with NICU nurses. I mean, we work with people who are we work with law enforcement, emergency medical services, who have crazy jobs, crazy schedules, and they can get it done. They say at first, oh, I can't eat. We'll say, yes, you can. Let's break down your schedule. Let's find some holes. Literally, it's 30 seconds. You can I guarantee, if you can sit there and if you can pull out your phone and you can type in your code and you can open up your Instagram page, one time during work, you can down a smoothie in the same amount of time. I guarantee that. Holiday, thanks for everything, Dolce. All your work is very appreciated. Well, thank you right back. YZ says, Dolce, any other dues you recommend while we're in Belmar next week? Never been to the area. Oh my God, it's absolutely amazing. We have the marina, which is right across the street. If you want to get here early on Friday, let's say you come in on Thursday, you want to go out on a charter fishing boat on Friday and go for a little fish, maybe pull some blues, some fluke, go have some fun out there, which would be great right off the coast typically. Lots of great charter, fishing boats to go on. You can take a drive up and down the seashore. You can drive the beach almost all the way down to Sandy Hook, to Atlantic Highlands. You can go look at the big, what are the damn towers called? The lighthouses up there. It's a beautiful drive, literally across the shore the whole way. What are some other great things to do? You can go there's so many farms out here. You can go, to the apple orchards, which is amazing if you're down to that. We have this massive Allaire State Park with this historic village. So this beautiful village that's like 300 or so years old, and its staff, now it's a public park, and its staff actually wears the clothes of the time. So there's a fully functional blacksmith and general store and little bakery and all these little shops as if it's, the 16, 1700s. That's super cool. I would say just walk the boards. We call it walk the boards. Man, go grab a coffee, swing by Stay Gold or, Surf Coffee or Turnstile, the shops in town. Go grab a cup of coffee, just go park, right at the beach and just pick a direction and just go walk and breathe and enjoy that. Lots of great facilities to exercise in. I mean, there's lots of stuff. I'm not going to say do it, but if you want to eat the best pizza in the world, you're in the right town. You're in the right neck, you're in the right part of the world. Lots of great stuff to do, Wise Eats. So let me know if you have any specific questions. Those who are coming to the DDC, or if you are on the fence, you can either shoot me a DM on Instagram or send an email to support@thedolcediet.com. We will help you figure out the best things to do, places to go. If you, hopefully, where you're staying. Again, we have we set up a preferential financial agreement with one of the local bed and breakfasts in town for all of our attendees. And it's going to be an amazing weekend. If you wanted to come here, go to DolceDietShop.com right now and book your spot. We have one spot left. And if you click on it and it doesn't work, then it means it's sold out. If you click on it and it works, that means you got the lucky golden ticket. We'll call you Charlie. Brian Al. Oh, damn, another one. That's right. What's up, DJ Khalid? Shamir says, hey coach, what lower back strengthening exercise would you suggest other than deadlift? That's why I bought a reverse hyper. I'm staring at it right now. Reverse hypers are great. The deadlift is excellent. You can do lots of quadruped exercise where basically you're on all fours on the ground. You can do like the bow and arrow. You can do kickbacks. You can do, gate swings. Tons and tons and tons of great low back exercises. I am working on a video database, exercise database I will build for you. Guys and gals, I got to get off. Zach C., great podcast with that. Hey, with Mr. Fuad. I'm going to eat a 4-pound burger and take my blood pressure pills. Probably meal prep for Hendrix. BJ, Ziggy, Zach C., my brother, thank you so much. Zach C. is one of the top contributors to this channel. We love Zach C. Funny jokes all the time. Probably looks better than any of us in a leopard print G-string. And as a dude, hey, no judging. Great hair, perfectly tanned, Crisco oil rubbed all over his body. Zach C., thank you for the $5 super chat donation. Again, never necessary, always appreciated. You are awesome, and really enjoy you being here. Zach C., thank you. Jackson Walsh, so eating and then not eating is like what's causing my body to digest improperly? I don't understand that question, Jackson, and unfortunately I don't have the time right now. I have to jump off. I have a call I have to be on. Brian L., how do you feel about fish krill oil as a daily or semi-weekly supplement? I take it daily. I take fish oils daily as a part of my normal routine. But guys and gals, I do have to jump off. Remember, subscribe right now. Bing, subscribe to the channel. Bing, click that little bell so you get notifications when these videos go out. And then give this video a thumbs up if you have not yet. Definitely leave comments below this video if you have any questions, you want further information about something I talked about, or you want me to cover a different topic in the future. Please let me know in the comment section. I'm going to put another video out here in about an hour or two. This will be a car talk, so look for that. And until next time, boom. All right. Thank you, my friend.